Is submarine voyage good for motion sickness? If you're planning a trip to Disneyland and wondering if the submarine voyage is a good idea if you're prone to motion sickness, let's break it down. First, it's important to understand what motion sickness is. It's a common problem that occurs when the body receives conflicting signals from the senses, particularly the eyes, inner ears, and the sensory nerves. This can happen on boats, planes, or even cars, and it often leads to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and dizziness. Now, let's talk about the Disneyland Submarine Voyage. This attraction simulates a submarine dive, but here's the good news: it doesn't actually take you deep underwater. The submarines barely submerge, and the experience is more about the visuals and sounds than actual depth. One of the key factors that might help if you're prone to motion sickness is that the submarine voyage doesn't involve the intense rocking motion you might experience on a real boat. The movement is minimal, and you're mostly looking at static objects through the portholes, which can help your brain and inner ears stay in sync. Additionally, the air inside the submarine is fresh, and there are no strong fumes or smells that could exacerbate motion sickness. This is a deliberate design choice by Disneyland to make the experience comfortable for all guests. However, if you're highly susceptible to motion sickness, it's still a good idea to take some precautions. Looking at the horizon or a distant static object can help, but since you're inside a submarine, this might not be as effective. Instead, you could try to sit in a seat where you feel the least amount of movement, though this is less of an issue here compared to a real boat. In summary, the submarine voyage at Disneyland is generally a good option if you're worried about motion sickness. The simulated dive and minimal movement make it a more comfortable experience compared to actual boat rides. Just remember to take any usual precautions you would for motion sickness, and you should be able to enjoy the ride without too much discomfort.